What's up guys, Trash Fisherman here with another video for you guys. I am here at the world famous Palm Tree Lagoon in Ratchaburi, Thailand. Now this is probably one of the most famous fishing ponds in the world if you want to catch very large freshwater species of fish. I'm here for 2.5 days, so hopefully you'll get to see all the excitement that's gone around here. I caught about 3 fish before I even filmed this intro. It was so hectic and finally I had time to do it, so stay tuned and I'm sure you will enjoy what's coming up. The first fish of the day was a monster pacu, which was easily the biggest one I had ever caught. This was followed by a very good sized Amazonian redtail, which had me sweating in the heat already. Fat redtails. Palm Tree Lagoon is home to some of the largest fish not only in Thailand, but the world. The lake is home to arapaima in excess of 400 pounds, chow phraya catfish over 150 pounds, Siamese carp over 200 pounds, and Mekong catfish over 300 pounds. The owner, Benny, also has numerous IGFA all-tackle world records. Here is the view of the lake. I was fishing at the famous pontoon swim right by the house. Luckily, I had the entire pond to myself during my stay. Alright, so the rigs we're using today is the classic Thai method feeder, which is just a cage feeder, and usually it's a bare hook, but usually on the bottom you have foam balls, or you can use boilies or pop-ups or wafters. So what we have here is a mix of bread and rice husk. So we're gonna build that around our cage feeder like so. And you want it fairly big, and you want it to pack tight enough to where you can cast it, but not tight enough where it doesn't break up in the water. And then I just plug the hook in like that so it doesn't get tangled during the cast. The goal is to cast to the same spot over and over to chum up the area you are fishing. Here is my guide building a ball for the carp. The balls are much larger as they need to sit in the water for a much longer period of time to draw the fish into the area. As you can see, he is using the mixture of bread and rice husk. He is also using a pop-up boilie to make the hook more appealing to the fish in the water. The pop-up also allows the hook to float around freely, increasing the chance of a carp sucking in the hook. As the sun finally started to dip below the horizon on my first day, I looked forward to the next 2 days of fishing ahead. I was hoping that the striped catfish wouldn't be biting, but sadly, hordes of striped catfish lay ahead. Eventually, we all sat down for a wonderful dinner of chicken and french fries with gravy made by Benny's daughter, Sue. Good morning, guys. It is my second day here at Palm Tree Lagoon. I've been kindly put up for the 2 nights I'm here, so hopefully I have some better luck today. Alright guys, so finally we've hooked up into something of decent size that is not a striped catfish. It feels really big and quite heavy, so I think I might be at this for a long time, but I'll let you guys know when it gets closer. So after about fighting that big fish for 15 minutes, sadly it came off. The swivel broke, it exploded. I'm sorry for interrupting myself, but little did I know the fish that was lost was actually one of Palm Tree Lagoon's big Mekong catfish. The friendly Mekong, also known as polio, is famous for its strange and exceedingly long fights. Speaking with my guide, the longest someone has ever fought the friendly was for about 5 hours. This was just pouring salt over my wound. Not only was it finally the first massive fish that I hooked, but a monster as well. A few years ago, my friend and I had come to Palm Tree Lagoon. I made a video about that and will leave the link in the video description. Towards the end of the day though, my friend had hooked into a rather large fish, which turns out was another massive Mekong catfish, which he and I named Noah. Sadly though, after fighting the fish for 2 hours, the line ended up tangling with another angler's rods and the fish came off. But at least we got to see the fish. So sadly, both my friend and I had been defeated by the giant Mekongs of Palm Tree Lagoon. But luckily, an hour later, the fishing gods decided that they were being a bit harsh. Alright guys, so finally after numerous striped catfish and Asian red tails, we finally hooked into something decent again. Hopefully this time I'll land it instead of having a swivel break on me. After an hour-long battle, the small Mekong was finally subdued and I was ecstatic to have finally caught something rather large. But it seems like luck was not on my side.
ให้ปลากินนม
ขอให้ใจเย็นๆได้ไหมครับขอให้ถ่ายรูปแป๊บนึงนะ
เก็บได้แล้ว
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Later in the day, I had multiple takes on the predator rod, but caught nothing of serious size or anything worth filming. It was just Asian red tails all day. Despite the slow fishing, there is always good company at Palm Tree Lagoon. We eventually all sat down for another wonderful and much-needed meal before going to bed. On the morning of the final day, my guide had started fishing early. I was rudely woken up by my very first molly-caught catfish. Still in my pajamas, I quickly ran over. After getting ready for my last day of fishing, something of decent size had taken the float rod again and was putting up a rather strange fight. Weird. That's not a striped catfish. Not sure what it is, but hopefully we'll find out soon. Alright guys, so it turns out that the mystery fish, don't get out of the net now, not like yesterday, hold on. Turns out the mystery fish was a fairly small Siamese carp. Yeah, that's small for Palm Tree Lagoon. Anyways, it's a cool fish. Throughout the day, some weirder species of fish started popping up, including my very first grass carp and a new personal best giant gourami. But the icing on this fishy cake was something I had wanted to catch for a long time. Yes, guys, I finally caught a fish that I've been wanting to catch for quite a while, a black shark minnow. I finally got one, and it's pretty decent size. Let's get it out of the net and show you. A black shark minnow is a brown, almost purple colored carp. I always thought they were one of the coolest looking fish and was over the moon to have finally caught one, and quite a big one at that. I knew that if I got one here, it would be a pretty decent size. So, finally, so happy. What an amazing time I had here at Palm Tree Lagoon. This has to be one of my favorite fishing parks in Thailand. The huge fish and strange species the lake holds makes this a truly magical place. Not only was the fishing great, but so was the company. Benny and her family were so welcoming and ever so friendly. There was also plenty to do as well when the fishing got slower, like feeding the massive pet arapaima. But sadly, all good things come to an end, and it was time for me to head back to Bangkok. While packing up in the dark and looking out over the lake, I knew I would be coming back. The loss of the big Mekong just proved that Palm Tree Lagoon wasn't ready to give up all her secrets just yet.